What is up, Sooner Nation? Welcome back to Sooner Surge Double Trouble for the nightly talk. Yep, Jay, you're right. Bucks, it sounds like, according to Hunter, with the dagger, that safety, and then Palmer TD looks to be the dagger, and now Baker Mayfield's going to move on. That's huge. I love it as a Sooner fan.
I love it for Baker Mayfield, really. Obviously, a Cowboy fan. I don't root for the Eagles, really, but I'm glad for Baker. I mean, now they're going to be playing the Lions. Heck, you never know in that game. I know the Lions are a good team, but you never know. Bucks could win next week. I mean, we'll see. And Eagles are going to go get a good coach. I think Sirianni's gone. I don't want to talk about this a lot, but I think he'll probably be out of there.
Yeah, is there any Sooner fan who wanted Baker, who isn't rooting for Baker? I'm sure they all are.
Hey, everybody's probably rooting for Baker over Hurts unless you're an Eagles fan, right?
Absolutely.
I know Detroit's the higher seed. I'm just saying they're not unbeatable. Is what I'm saying.
I love Dan Campbell.
Niners.
I love Dan Campbell. Absolutely love Dan.
That's kind of crazy. You're going to have the Lions or Bucks in the NFC Championship. The way I look at this, I think the 49ers have a cakewalk to the Super Bowl.
I think the Packers, you got to watch out. Is Baker playing? Yeah, Baker's playing really good tonight. Throwing dimes.
It is one of his better games. He's had a couple sacks he took, weren't great, but he's had a lot of drops tonight, man. A lot of drops.
He's pretty if you want a guy in the moment, Baker's your guy.
Hey, I'll just say this right now. Not a fan of Stephen A. Never have been.
Stephen A. Smith.
I don't like him. Never have. And I'll watch him every once in a while, but it's just too much of a show. And listen, he gets away with whatever he wants to get away with, whatever he wants to say. That's what I don't like. Other people, They don't really get away with it. But
hey, Sooner Surge viewers here, appreciate you all being on. I know you got the big battle of the Sooners with Hurts versus Baker, but thanks for being on here tonight. Kevin Sumland, interest in returning to Arizona. I don't think there's a chance Kevin Sumlin's back in Arizona.
Hey, Jeremy, Arizona's a dumpster fire right now.
It's unbelievable what Jedd Fisch did, taking all the coaches with him. It's unbelievable.
It's unbelievable. Here's the thing, though. I don't know. I do hate it, but at the same point, if you're those coaches, where are you going to want to coach at? Washington, Arizona? I mean, Arizona got screwed in this, but I mean,
yeah, they can't get one on the portal.
Is it worse than Tebow or about the same?
Actually, it's worse. What Jedd Fisch is doing is worse than Tebow.
Yeah, and I agree, Mass. It's really bad. Purple Orchid said it too. It's extremely bad. It's so bad in Arizona for the money situation, the financials. It's awful.
And Ron, Tebow was on the sideline tonight. Is on the sideline.
Yep, correct.
Yeah. Look, Jay, another day goes. Second semester is about to start, and Lance Hurd isn't on the squad yet.
Jeremy, Tennessee doesn't start for another week.
Yeah, he's going to Tennessee. I would say 80 or 90%.
Yeah.
What's up, Chris?
Hey, I'm going to wait till a little more people join before I say something tonight because I got something to say to get off my chest. And I'll wait a little bit later in the show. But, I do think it's wild, Chris. Appreciate you being an unlimited member as always. Hey.
And Bobby. Bobby as well.
Let me say this. Why the heck would you want to go to Atlanta? They don't even have a quarterback. That Ritter guy's not it.
There's no chance Bill Belichick's going to Atlanta with the jobs that are coming open.
He interviewed.
Yeah, I don't care. He's not going to take
that
job.
What about this?
Jobs.
Tomlin leads Pittsburgh. Does he go there?
Who?
Tomlin. Mike Tomlin.
Tomlin's not happy right now. I promise you that.
Yeah, did you see him storm off there?
He walked out of the press conference when they asked him about his contract. Bobby. Bobby's a Sooner Surge member. Again, Hunter dropped that in the chat. Appreciate anyone on here who would join up on that. Thanks for doing that. Tomlin, the thing is, the Rooney family there in Pittsburgh, it's always been a tight deal, so something's happening.
They'd be stupid to get rid of Tomlin. They would be idiotic.
Oh, he's one of the best coaches in the league, Jay.
That would be dumb. if they got rid of him.
Absolutely
I don't think
not.
they will. He was 10-7 this year with. I mean, they weren't that good.
Yeah, I mean, that's probably enough NFL national talk. But
Hey, did you see where Jaden Jackson and David Stone Polynesian Bowl, baby?
yeah, I did see that.
Yeah.
When is that game?
I'd have to look. I don't know off the top of my head. It's soon because they're there on the island right now.
Oh, yeah. There was a big offer that was rolled out today, and Jaden Harmon.
Zach Alley starting to get to work, boy.
Zach Alley making an offer in the South.
Southeast,
right there.
Baby. Yeah.
That guy's a 4-star guy. And he, of course, tweeted and had Zach Alley's tag there. So Zach Alley already making some noise. I like to see it.
Oh, yeah. I think what he's going to do for OU in the South in recruiting is going to be big time. Big time.
Yeah.
From
Isn't it
Georgia,
Jaden Harmon?
State of Georgia, baby.
Isn't it Jaden Harmon, Hunter? Is that? I believe that's who it is. Hey, Jay, Bama's losing.
Wait, this is what I was wanting to talk about. This is I'm just going to go and talk about it, okay? Yes, Bama keeps bleeding players. They do, okay? And I just want to say it's flat out first off, the NCAA needs a commissioner. I'm done with the NCAA. I'm done with all the rules they got in place, the portal crap, the NIL crap. It's all crap, okay? All of it, every bit of it's crap, okay? And the fact that coaches transfer, coaches can transfer basically, leave jobs, whatever. Alabama right now is getting screwed, guys. Any team that has a coach leave, they're screwed. Do you know why? They have 30 days for their players into the portal. There's nobody in the portal for them to go get. They could have 20 guys leave, and they're picking from nobody. It's stupid. It's stupid.
Yeah, hey.
It's dumb.
I agree, Jay. Alabama's in trouble, but Lori asked if
they're
we're going
not
to
in
get
trouble, but it's ridiculous. The rule is ridiculous.
Lori asked if we're going to get any Alabama players. If OU gets anyone, they have to be enrolled in 2 days. So I think the chance of them landing anyone that hasn't visited out now. Some of those guys do have the 30-day window. I get it, but I haven't heard that OU's offering or going after any of those guys. Bond is him. Hook 'em horns. Okay?
Yeah, and there you go, Hunter. You're right. There's no more visits. The only guys right now that teams like Alabama, Washington, Arizona, those type teams, the only guys they can go get are guys from the other teams that have had coaches leave, or like Mess says, late enrollee. That's it. You can't get him in early right now, and there's just not a whole lot out there right now. So, I don't like it. Something's got to be fixed. Something's got to be changed.
Mario Williams ends up going to the Green Wave.
Maybe he'll flourish there. I hope he does. Honestly, I hope he does.
I don't think he's very good, Jay. I didn't think he was good at OU.
I think he needs out of Caleb Williams, out of his.
Well, he is.
Yeah, he is. So, Tulane's having a pretty good portal. They are.
Well, they lost a lot of guys. We do play them, so we'll see him.
Yep, he'll be back in Norman.
They did have a talented portal. What would you guys rank, and drop it in the chat, rank OU's class, Jay, out of the portal? Give it a grade.
OU's portal, I would say.
Let me ask you this. Everyone in the chat, give it a grade, and then tell us who the number one portal addition is going to be. I'm going to say B+, Deion Burks.
I'm going to say B-, and I'll say one of the linemen because they desperately needed a lineman. Probably Fabechi or Brown would be my top guy, but I'd say B-. B- or a C+.
Yeah, no one's giving it a A.
Jeremy, the fact that you said B+, I'm about ready to blow a gasket.
Why?
B+ out of the portal?
As far as needs.
Jeremy, portal grade, you gave him a B+.
I didn't give him an A, Jay.
You gave him a B+.
Okay.
Based off what?
They got 2 linemen that are probably going to start this year for him, so that's good. 2 good pickups.
Okay.
They got a starting receiver that's probably going to put a lot of numbers up. That's 3 guys on the offensive side. They got Sharp at tight end. 4 of their starters next year are from the portal, probably.
Yeah.
Is that wrong? A third of their team on offense is from the portal. I guess it's a bad year. Now, if you want to switch to the defensive side, I'll say it wasn't great.
Hey, Jeremy, you need to chill a little bit. Yeah, chill,
Thanks,
Bond.
Bond is him.
Listen.
Bond is him. I'm assuming you're a Texas fan. So if a Texas fan is telling me to chill, I'll probably get even more fired up.
Why do you assume he's a Texas fan?
Bond is him. Hook 'em horns.
Hey, Jeremy, here's why I'm giving a B-. I'm going lower because of this. I think
Here we go.
Jeremy, I think, yes, they got needs. Yes, they got a tight end. Yes, they got guys. But did they get the best of those in the portal? I would say no. Do you think they did?
They didn't get the best portal. They didn't get the best portal guys, Jay.
Jeremy, no, did they get the best offensive line?
If they did, they would have had an A, Jay.
You almost gave them an A.
Almost don't count. And I've had one Red Bull today, Peyton. One Red Bull, okay? And Casey Thompson, as much as you want to get rid of him, you said, Bond, Casey Thompson's going to be great at OU because his presence in the locker room, the mentorship he's going to provide the young guys, I think is going to be invaluable. So that's my opinion. He'll never step on the field either.
Yeah, I'm not turning for y'all to feel sorry for any other team. They didn't feel sorry for us. Let's go on with the show Sooners since 1970. I don't know if that's about Arizona or what.
Yeah, it's about Lincoln Riley and then the Jed Fish, yeah. I just think, Jay, here again, yeah, hit the like, Lori. That's right. Hit the like. Go back to Chuck. Go back to Chuck there. Sorry. Look, missed out on a lot of dudes. I can think of 2 or 3 that OU offered that didn't come here. Now, some guys they didn't even go after.
Correct.
Jay, here's what would have made this class an A if they would have landed Zalance Hurd. Wait, Zalance Hurd would have made it an A. I think if they'd have got, I'm not going to say McClellan. I think they ended up getting Woolard instead of Uniacke. Obviously, if they could have gotten Scorton, that could have been an A. But otherwise, a B+ is not far-fetched. It's not like I'm sitting here grading on a huge curve.
No, I think they got needs. I just the reason I had a B- is like, could they got a better at those positions? Could they got better players? I don't think they got the best of the best. So that's why I can't.
I don't even think they went after the best of the best.
Okay,
unfortunately,
you're right. And somebody said, Infidel says, better to return your stars on defense. That's correct. And if you look at defensively, they didn't really need to get a whole lot. They got a couple defensive backs. They got a defensive lineman, but they didn't need a whole lot to really make an impact this year. They got guys coming back. The ones they needed impacts on would have probably been offensive line and maybe on the defensive line a couple of guys. But
Chuck, I agree. We missed out on a couple of guys. I'm not saying we didn't. Hey, just stop. The fact of the matter is Dillon Gabriel went down your butt in a 2-minute drive. Call it what it is. Dillon Gabriel.
What's he talking about? That was on the refs. Was it the
I have no idea on the last drive what was on the refs.
I think he's talking about the semifinal game. That's what he's talking about.
Oh, I thought he was talking about the OU Texas game.
Yeah. Yeah. Hey. Pass interference was clear, Bond, Sooner Surge says. I think Hunter's agreeing. I don't know what. I don't know what they're even talking about on the refs. I don't know what he's talking about on the refs. I really don't. Is it semifinal game? Don't know.
I have no idea either. I'm guessing he's talking OU Texas, Jay. That's why he's on here.
No, I think he's talking the OU or the Texas-Washington game.
Oh, the Wyoming game. Sure, yeah. He knows it. He's talking the OU game. Everyone's talking about pass interference. I'm guessing on the Eagles game. I don't know why we're talking Eagles on here on the right side of this.
That game's over, and it's going to be over. What's the score on the Eagles game?
And I agree with you, Dalpois. I've been very critical of OU in some instances as far as not going after some huge big-name guys. Obviously, they have it in some areas. But let's just say this. And I'm just going to say I'm going to take a step back and say that with what they have coming back on defense and who they have coming in on defense, I think it's safe to say that they didn't want to go get a guy for 1 year out of the portal.
I think
they got those guys.
I think you're right on that. Yeah.
Yeah, Nick Anderson obviously got held before the final play. Absolutely, Hunter. You're
Oh,
right.
that was a great call. That was passionate.
Takedown.
Everybody knows it. Everybody knows that. Nobody's arguing that. Next year's Red River rivalry game is going to be insane.
Oh yeah, it's going to be absolutely insane. Oh, here he is. Yeah, hey, I agree. Ethan Downs stood over Quinn Ewers. They didn't call it. So be it.
Hey, listen, I'm a guy that watches games, and I do blame the refs, but I don't blame refs for the losses unless they've blown the last call of the game. They miss calls all throughout every game of the year, and so you can't blame the game. They lost because they couldn't stop OU on the last drive. Period.
Absolutely. Don't make excuses, Bond is him. OU lost to Kansas and OSU. I'm not making excuses. They didn't play good at all.
I agree, Hub. I just don't think they all go all in at all. I don't. I think you're right on that. Yeah, and Chuck, you're right about this. There's a lot of people that doesn't think we're going to be any good next year. A lot of people don't think OU's going to be very good.
Listen, I'm not a sunshine pumper, Chuck. You know it. I get critical on here, but I promise you, when people say they're not going to be any good, I don't know what that means. Because, in my opinion, 8-4 is average. This team needs to be 9-3 next year. 8-4 should be the floor. 7-5 is a horrific year in the first year in the SEC.
Well, if
any Sooner fan tells you 7-5 is good, they're a sunshine pumper.
I'll say this. It's very important you don't have a 7-5 year the first year in the SEC. You got to have a better year than that. I just think for momentum and for being the first year, you don't want to move into the SEC. And here's the narrative. If OU has a 7-5 year, everybody's going to say, well, that's OU. Shouldn't come to the SEC. This is what you're going to get every year. That's what's going to happen if you pour that out. So,
hey, let's think about this. Zach Alley's been on the job a day and a half, 2 days. We've already seen an impact on recruiting. I don't ever remember any recruit tagging Ted Roof on Twitter. Oh, wait, he doesn't have Twitter probably.
Agreed. Hey,
no one tagged Ted Roof on MySpace.
Let me say something.
I don't know why any recruit didn't tag him on MySpace.
Hey, Bond is him. Let me say something.
I know, Hunter. I know they did. Jeez.
Jeremy, let me say something. As an OU fan, you know what? You know what I don't do, Bond is him? I don't say Texas is going to go 3-8. You know why? Because I'm a realistic person. Okay?
Bond's
I don't
a
think
troll,
you can be realistic and think OU's going to be 5-7. That's called a Texas fan bashing an OU person. Be realistic. Maybe, I mean, you could say, if you wanted to say 7-5, I'd say, well, they could. But if they go 5-7, I don't think.
My question is, why aren't you on a Texas channel?
Jeremy, we talked about this last night. They don't have any channels right now.
Hey, and listen, I do admit that, guys, I was using hyperbolic language when I said Roof never got tagged. Obviously, he recruited. You get my point. I think Zach Alley's going to be much better in that area.
Hey, Jackson, that's what I'm saying is I picked Texas to win the Natty when there was 4 teams left this year. And next year, I think Texas will be really dang good. I can be a realistic person, okay?
Infidel is right. OU should be much improved on defense. Should be. If they're not, there's problems.
Agreed.
Jackson Arnold should get better and better each game.
Now, Jackson Arnold is very young, and that's my only concern.
But Jay, the non-con schedule, by game 5, he ought to be rocking and rolling.
Yeah.
I mean, the schedule, I think, sets up good. It's first 4 non-con and then Tennessee at home. Is that right?
What's that?
It's 4 non-conference games and then Tennessee at home. Is that wrong?
The first SEC game. And Jackson, I'll disagree with them winning the SEC. I mean, I'm still picking Georgia, or I'm picking maybe LSU. LSU, a lot depends on their quarterback. That's the thing. A lot depends on their quarterback.
Yeah, and then
appreciate that, Bobby.
Bobby Redwine, thanks.
Thanks,
Appreciate you being on here and giving the super with our defense mostly coming back 10-2 should be our goal. I think that's got to be a goal, or even better. Can you find Infidel had a statement in there, Hunter. I can't remember exactly what it was, but it was good. No, it was
what
Richard,
do you think of?
it was Richard Ringer. it was Richard Ringer about who's going to be the best portal guy. Richard is a Sooner Surge Unlimited member. Hunter, drop that in the chat. Join up on that. Perks are coming your way. $4.99 a month. There it is. Hey, a guy on offense is Deion Burks. The guy on defense that I'm excited about, I can't really say Woolard because I'm excited about the guys already there on edge. So I can't say Woolard. Man, I don't even know on defense. I would say the guy from San Diego State, but Woody came back. So
Jeremy, I don't think you can say on defense they got a guy from the portal that's going to be an impact game changer.
I don't think there is. So it's Deion Burks, or actually, I'm going to say Sharp or Jake Roberts. The tight end position.
Yeah, tight ends. I mean,
I'm watching this game tonight. Cade Otton. I love going to the tight end. I love teams that throw to the tight end. I hope OU does a lot.
Hey, what do you think of this Alabama defensive coordinator they may get from South
I think
Alabama?
it's a great hire by DeBoer.
South Alabama head coach.
It's a great hire.
I think it's a good hire too. I know he's
pull,
not like the
to
other.
Pull someone from a head coaching job to be a coordinator is massive, and he's in the state of Alabama, which means recruits are already there. I mean,
I will say the guy that they interviewed from Georgia that was from Alabama went to Georgia. I thought he would have been a good pick too, but
now I am excited about the revenge for the Butkus list. I agree, Chuck. Bond, you changed all of a sudden. Now you're realistic because we called you out. That's funny. If OU was a C on defense last year, Jay, they should be an A this year.
Well, they got to at least be a B or they aren't winning a whole lot. I mean, you defense wins championships, period.
Caleb Downs may transfer, Jackson says.
Well, I don't know. He's kind of back and forth. I don't know. He's not going to he's going to go to big-time school.
Infidel, I'm ready for it. Bring it. Bring it.
Yeah, I'm ready for it. Let's go. Hey, Harbaugh's gone, Thunder. Harbaugh's leaving.
Harbaugh's gone. What's going to – they got to put Sharon Moore. He's got to be the head coach.
You would think. What about – somebody said LSU coach, Brian Kelly.
Agreed.
Agreed what?
Sharon Moore. They're not going to bring in Brian Kelly.
Well, that's what I'm saying. Somebody said that, though.
No, absolutely not.
Hunter said it.
Steal Brian Kelly?
That's not a steal. Well,
if I'm LSU, I'm letting Brian Kelly go. Leave him. Yeah. Chuck saying Caleb Downs, Jay.
What about him?
I think he said, who is that?
Oh, Alabama player. He's an outstanding player. To me, if he leaves, he'll probably go to Georgia. I mean, something like that. I mean, yeah.
You're right, Infidel. Hey,
got to.
OU's tailgating has to step it up. It's atrocious.
Bad. Yeah.
It is absolutely atrocious. And Downs was the best freshman last year, Jackson says. To Texas, huh?
We'll see.
Hey, Syracuse is tearing it up.
Yeah, and Bobby's dead right. If he leaves, he's going with T-Rob. 100%. I agree with that. That's a good comparison, Mark. Brian Kelly equals Jimbo Fisher. Okay, I could go with that. I'm not a big Brian Kelly fan. Never have been. Never have been.
Hunter's dropping the historical facts in here. Look at this, guys. Hunter, hey, give Hunter some kudos. Read this stuff. This guy dropping the historical documents on the Sooner Surge chat. You can't get this anywhere else, guys. I promise you.
Wait, did somebody say he sets up offensive? I'm confused.
I don't know. I haven't been watching the chat, but Hunter will take care of it over there. Jay, I give you Jay Jones. I didn't see it because I can only see certain things popping up. There's so many comments. If Jay beat Hunter to it, then I give Jay credit. All I know is Sooner Surge viewers are top notch. How about that? All of you.
Correct. 100%. Attaboys, Jackson says. Attaboy.
Alan Woody, Boomer Sooner, Sooner Surge Unlimited member. Appreciate you. Yep. Jay, is it time for trivia?
I do got a trivia tonight. Got the standings popping up here in a minute.
And then after that, we got to get to Chuck's.
Yeah. So this trivia, I'm picking 2017 OU versus OSU in Bedlam. I believe the final was like 62-52. Big time game from Baker. Baker had about 598 yards passing. I just want to know, Hollywood Brown led the team in receiving that night. How many yards receiving did Hollywood Brown have? It's a bunch.
Jackson, we did talk about Mario Williams.
Jeremy, do you remember that game?
I do remember the game. I don't know the yardage. Jay, what do you think about Chuck? And then let's get, if you think we'll have 2,000-yard receivers.
Man, you are very close, Mass. I mean, very close. There
Tone
it is.
Loc,
Jay Jones. Got it. Boom.
265.
265 yards receiving. Wow. Even Bond knew it.
Jay, I agree with Chuck. I don't know why we get so fed up anymore. I guess it's good thing coaches are kind of above it where they're just going to break contracts. But let's be honest. It's the world we live in. Character, integrity, being loyal seems to be – loyal is like a negative thing nowadays. So it's about the bag. You're right, Chuck. Infidel. I think that
I believe Bond is right. 9 receptions. Yeah, maybe.
Bond is right. Yeah. I think that if I were going to pick right now, 2 1,000-yard receivers is pretty big time. I would say that Nick Anderson would be one, and they're definitely going to take a lot of shots. And I'm going to go with what I said the other night, and I'm probably going to get ripped again.
What?
I think Brennan Thompson has a chance to just be elite next year.
I'm not going to get into all that.
It depends on Andrew Anthony's injury.
Yeah. And Rodney had a great game that game too.
Again, I'm watching Devontae Smith tear up the Bucks early tonight. He's about 155.
Yeah. Devontae Smith's outstanding player. Going back to
what Bond is him. I wonder what Bond is him thinks about Brennan Thompson.
Ask him. He's on here.
That's what I just did.
Yeah.
Andrew Anthony is kind of the forgotten guy. If Andrew Anthony is back, they're going to have a hard time getting 7 or 8 guys on the field unless they just rotate and throw through it all. Because maybe they do that.
Yeah, I agree. Are you surprised that Lance Leipold's still at Kansas?
I'm surprised he didn't go any. Does he go to Arizona? That's a horrible move. You got to stay at Kansas.
Yeah. Arizona's gonna have a tough time getting a coach unless it's a guy that's been a coordinator because of their money situation.
That is shocking to me, though.
It's bad. It's a bad deal. Hey, do you think NCAA needs to move the portal window? I do.
Jay, they have to do something.
They have to move it. If they could back it
up.
That right now it closes on the 4th, I think is what.
Hey, you're about to get your double fixed because I think Purple Orca is trying to set me off right now.
What on what?
Said Farouk easily going to get 1,000 yards.
What's up, Jason? Thanks for joining tonight. Missed you last few. Yep. Double trouble fix time. Hey, Jackson. What are you talking about? Filled with a bunch of idiots. Are you saying in general?
Yeah, he's saying an Indian commissioner. We already know who Jay wants, Nick Saban.
Yeah, that's right. He needs to be the commissioner. I'd be down for that any day.
Infidel, the problem with that, and look, I 100% agree with you, Infidel, but the problem is Nick Saban retires after the playoff, and now it's past the portal time.
They got to change the whole dates of everything. You can't have it where teams – this whole where a coach leaves and you have 30 days into the portal. Well, your team is screwed by getting guys if there's nobody in the portal. You may lose 20 guys and not get anybody. It's dumb. It's stupid. It's stupidity. It's stupidity.
I agree. It is.
It's dumb. I don't know what they're thinking about it, but
yeah.
I don't know how to fix it. I mean, I really don't. Maybe, you know what? Maybe they should do is maybe after a certain date, you can't fire a coach. I don't know. Or he can't leave. I mean, dang.
Yeah.
Stick to your word or something. I don't know what to do. It's ridiculous.
1,000 fumbles, 12 yards.
Like this whole Harbaugh thing. Harbaugh's interviewing for NFL jobs. What if he decides 2 weeks from now he's going to leave? You're talking 2 months from spring game. He could have guys into the portal. It's stupid.
Yeah.
Ignorant.
Look, and he is going to take a bit to decide, I think, Harbaugh.
And you know what? He can do that, and he can screw their team over if he wanted to.
Yeah, and he could. He could do whatever he wants to. He's got a lot of control right now. Someone who doesn't have control is Jalil Farouk. I hope sleeping with the football, tying it to him, something. I hope he fixes it. That's all I'll say.
Hey, what do you think about if you leave, you have to pay back your NIL? I don't have a problem with that, Infidel.
It will never It will never work, Jay. Kids will blow through the money. You can't do that.
I agree, but something needs to happen.
Well, that won't happen. He needs some pine tar from George Brett. I agree. I would take Baker today, Jason. I would take Baker today.
What about this? What about if all NIL goes into an account, but you can't use it? You can't use it till you graduate college or move on to the NFL.
That would be horrible.
Why?
I agree with you, Jay.
Why would that be horrible?
I agree with you, but they're not going to do it because those guys wouldn't like it.
Then you could pay it back because you haven't spent it.
Yeah.
Teach him something about money and say it goes in this account or something.
Chuck dropping some truth here. Pastor Chuck, I believe. Jesus turned water into wine. People said you saved the best for last. Well, the portal, the best players in there at the last because of bowl games. That's actually true in both accounts. But I would say Jesus turning water into wine wasn't the best because the cross. But yeah, you're absolutely right, Chuck. I know what you mean. It's not right because some of I promise you the tight end from Bama, you would have loved to get in on. Didn't have room for him.
Well, they already took somebody. That's kind of the game you play, though, Jeremy.
It's strategy, I guess.
It's not strategy. It's a luck thing. You don't know who's.
Yeah, it is luck. I agree.
Unless you're tampering. That's a whole nother subject for a whole nother evening.
Bond on here trying to start stuff.
Hey, you can't tell me right now that people aren't trying to tamper with Alabama players.
Oh, there's tampering going on across NCAA, Jay. No common sense, Monty Ward says. No common sense, and I agree. All teams are. It's to what extent are they tampering? That's it.
Yeah, tampering's going on.
I give Hunter kudos. He's an Eagle fan, and he said they sucked, and they do. He called it.
I know you're not trying to start anything about Bond. Who said he was trying to start anything?
Oh, he said how many yards Bond going to have against you guys? I'm not saying he's starting it, but all I know is Texas didn't do great against OU's D this year. I do know that.
Infidel thinks yours is going to have a bad year.
I could see that. How long till Sark pulls the plug on that and says Arch Manning?
Here's the thing. He'll have a short leash, I think, because it's Arch Manning's second year. Hunter Jackson, come on.
I don't think, yeah. What a cool story for Baker Mayfield, though. Seriously.
Great story.
Like, people rip Baker because of what happened in Cleveland. The guy's played for 8 coaches in 6 years and been hurt a lot of them. Even Colin Cowherd has come around.
And, hey, I agree with Cracker Mac on this. Maybe that they got to have some type of contract, 2 to 3 years, something. I know what Jeremy's getting ready to say.
I'm talking about Jackson Arnold here.
Yeah, I saw you. I knew that was going to come.
We'll see next year. Bond is him. We'll see how many picks Jackson Arnold throws, and maybe he does throw a lot. We'll see.
Bond, did you watch the OU Arizona game at all?
I'm sure he didn't. He looked at the stats. Bond's just jealous they didn't land Jackson Arnold, a guy out of Denton, Texas. Should have landed him. 5-star.
Do you think Arch leaves?
If he doesn't play next year, he would be the guy the year after, so I guess he'd stay.
What if Milroe left Alabama? Do you think Arch would portal then to go play with DeBoer?
He might, Jay. Who's matured a lot? And hey, you don't want who, bro? Who do you not want, bro? You don't want Jackson Arnold? That's fine. Oh, yeah, Baker's matured a lot. But
oh, yeah, Baker has, big time.
If Tampa Bay doesn't go give him a contract, they're ridiculous.
Yeah, agreed. I agree.
We know you don't want Jackson Arnold. We know you don't. Don't care.
Texas should be really good next year. They should be good. They lost a lot on offense, but now they're getting them back in the portal. They should be good.
Hey, let's talk about the OU fan base. I don't know what you're referring to this, but I do know this is an OU channel, and the fans on this channel are the best around, I promise you. Now, whatever you're thinking an OU fan is, what we have on here is great fans. I mean, I think realistic fans, not just sunshine pumpers. But I agree with Chuck. We're crazy.
Hey, OU Twitter is one of the craziest college Twitter accounts out there, Jeremy.
Hey, Vaughn, you haven't watched our channel. Obviously. Yeah, Jay is chill.
I'm not always chill. I can get rowdy.
I'm not going to change who I am because a Texas fan is on here. Not going to do it.
Hey, I can get very rowdy if you want me to.
And I don't drink. I don't drink. Do not drink except for Red Bull.
I've never had a sip of alcohol in my life. So
Red Bull.
Yeah, I would say this. Very passionate fan base, probably the most passionate fan base. I don't think you can argue it. Bond wants me to get rowdy. Give me something to get rowdy about, Bond, and I will. I'll show you I can get rowdy.
Nah, Jay, I got an idea. Let's ignore Bond.
Why?
Let's just ignore
him.
Jay, you're an introvert. Stay that way, Jay. You're an introvert.
Hey, Jeremy, listen. I'm not an introvert. I'm an extroverted introvert. Hey, good Christians here on this channel. I do enough for all you.
Look at Bond. We say we're going to ignore him, and he starts begging. Please don't. That's funny. Hey, all I know is it's going to be an exciting year in the SEC. I promise you. Can you imagine? I'm so stoked for game days right now with the fan bases around, with the tailgating that's going to happen.
I'm going to say, Bond, make sure you're back on this live next year, the day before the game, please. Get on here. When it really matters, game's getting ready to start, get on here with us, okay? We'll put our prediction in for Red River Rivalry next year. I have no problem with that.
David, OU softball, 23 days away tomorrow from the Puerto Vallarta tournament starting. We got a video dropping tomorrow about number 23, T.R.A. Jennings, in a senior spotlight video, but I am so pumped.
And I'll say this about Bond. He didn't know the OU trivia, so maybe he used to be an OU fan. I don't get it, but he knows ball.
And he subscribed. So, hey, thanks, Bond. Appreciate you.
He knows ball.
Bond, I'm not going to kick you off the channel.
I like it when Texas people go in here. It's good. It's a good rivalry.
Oklahoma fears God and Texas fears Oklahoma. Get you your shirt, Bond. I'll send you one. Become a Sooner Surge Unlimited member. I'll send you a shirt, bud. Just for you, specially gift wrapped it from my closet.
From your closet? Does that mean you've worn it?
No, it's framed, bro. Framed. And there it is right there. Hey, there's 100 people on here. Would love for 10 of you, 20, 30. Just become a Sooner Surge Unlimited member. It'll also give you access to a Discord where we can chat all the time through group messaging, not just on here. Hey, what got to be a Sooner Surge Unlimited member first.
Why we have Texas fans on here, and let's just say this. You said earlier the floor for Oklahoma, you said is what, 8-4?
Oh, before I get to that, we're talking about fans and Tanya Shipman. Tanya is unbelievable. what
Yeah,
happens every night, which is a super sticker for us.
Hey, Tanya.
Hello. Appreciate you being on.
Yeah, at least hit the like. If you don't do anything at all, hit the like.
The least you can do is hit the like.
Hey, you said the floor for Oklahoma 8-4, ceiling 10-2.
Yes.
What would you say it is for Texas, realistically?
I would say it's the same thing for Texas, exactly the same.
I would say maybe their ceiling could be 11-1. They got a little bit of an easier schedule.
A little bit, but not that easy, Jay. They still got Georgia and OU and others.
I agree. I think it's similar.
So, yeah, I mean, it's going to be fun. It's going to be a fun year. Someone asked about Puerto Vallarta is pretty cool to start the games for softball. No, that's where it's starting. That's the season opener, February 8th. No. Is that right? I think it's February 8th. Against Utah Valley. Got to get Flow softball to get that.
Correct. Got to have Flow softball.
Hey, again, I'm going to make a comparison, Jay. OU's team next year to Texas's team in a lot of ways. I mean, the Michigan's team. A lot of seniors on that squad. A lot of old players.
Yeah.
Great culture. I think OU's got great culture. I think that they have great leadership, older guys, especially on the defensive side. The key is going to be, I'm going to say it again, trenches win titles. The offensive line is the key for the Sooners. That is the one position that is the key for OU.
Yeah.
It's the O-line.
Agree.
You could say this. OU's success next year relies 90% on Bill Bedenbaugh's decision and the way the O-line plays. And I could say that, period.
Now, Infidel, I would love this. I love this thing here. Need to have a spot to watch games as Sooner Surge members for some of the road games. That would be really cool.
Now, I will say this. We're going to go to the Missouri game on the road in Columbia.
We'll be there. Yeah, Sooner Surge will be there.
Hey, again, Jay, I have my CDL. Too bad we can't rent a bus, man.
I'll drive. Does the school let you take a bus?
I'm going to look into renting a bus from somewhere. If everyone can get to the Tulsa area, we can ride together to a game. I'll drive, make sure we get tickets, and I'm not kidding about it. People may laugh. I'm not kidding.
Hey, the defense did struggle down the stretch. D. Mora.
I don't know what happened on the defense.
I don't know. They did struggle down the stretch, for sure.
I don't know what happened. The Danny Stutzman injury, it was way underplayed.
Yeah, he was fighting through it, man.
He's not only your best player on defense, he's your coach on the field. He's your leader. He's your heart and soul.
But, to me, it was just the pass defense went south, too.
0-2 without Stutzman. Fact.
The pass defense went south, though, Jeremy. And they were beat up. They're right.
Jason,
right.
I agree the pass defense went down. I agree 100%. But when you're not getting pressure, when your ends aren't collapsing, when there's no penetration, the DBs are going to look worse than they actually are.
Yeah, he's the quarterback on defense. That's right. And that's the team peak for Texas. I think you're right. Hey, Bond, I'm not even gonna acknowledge comments like that. So
don't even, Jay. Allie will right the ship and hone our edge to be ready. I love the addition of Zach Allie. I love the young youthfulness he brings, the energy, but more than that, I love the mindset of bringing guys up close to the line of scrimmage. You're kidding yourself if you don't think Allie's blueprint or hand is going to be seen early in this.
Oh, I think it will be.
I don't think we're going to be 5 games in thinking, man, what difference has Zach Allie made? I think it's going to be noticeable.
I agree. DB is better than QE. Better than Quinn Ewers?
Must be Davis Bevel.
Oh,
DG. I'm going to disagree with you on that one, Bond. DG wasn't as good as Quinn Ewers.
What's up, Dax?
Hey, what's up, Dax? New member. You can be like Dax. Like Dax, right there.
Dax,
join up.
Dax, make sure you join the Discord link. We'll send it to you again in the video if it's not already in there.
Hey, Dax, you're a new member now. There was a new member video that went out today. You should have access to it. It explained how you can be a Discord with us. 24/7 chatting all that.
And Chuck, what do you think about what Chuck says here? Listen, I'll say this. Brent Venables can say maybe that he didn't feel like he lost the team as far as that in practice. But I think definitely something mentally that maybe they thought they were. But here's the thing. Back in the day, OU could come in and think they're going to beat everybody, and they did. They don't have that swag yet where they can just roll in. And they're not – they haven't been talented enough to just roll in and beat people. They proved it with Kansas and OSU. Those two teams, they should have walked in. Even if they sleptwalk, should have won those two games.
Hey, and
Period.
Chuck is absolutely dropping truth tonight, not just from Scripture. He's dropping truth here, too, on the OU stuff, because I do think that they got a little bit ahead of themselves mentally. I think they saw some things, kind of articles, whatever you want to say. And, I think a guy like Bosworth, Jay, I'm sure that but the Kansas game, again,
you can't.
The fact of the matter is they lost to two teams that were worse than them. Period.
Way worse than them.
Way worse.
Way worse.
Way worse.
Drink some of their own Kool-Aid. That's possible.
And that has got to be a challenge as a head coach.
Hey, Jeremy.
That's got to be a challenge. I know it is. I'm a coach.
Hey, you're a coach, and you've also played sports. I've played sports. You can say that I'm not going to overlook this team, but still in your mind, you beat them 2 or 3 times. You feel like you should beat them, right? Even though you might be focused at practice, mentally you're like, we should dominate these guys. It's just that's part of that's the way it works. I mean, if you're that much better than a team, you feel like you should just walk all over it. I don't know how you combat that. I don't think you can with 18, 19, 20-year-old kids.
Yeah, I don't. It's a difficult kind of train to keep on track, I guess you could say. Honestly, OU got off the track a little this year. They didn't stay on track, and it hurt.
Yep, play like you practice. That's right.
The truth of the matter is, if OU would have just beat the teams they were supposed to beat, they would have been in a playoff probably.
Yep, agreed. Biggest thing about next year is if we get a few guys banged up like happened this year, we should have more experience and guys more ready. That's a great point. Always dropping good comments. That's a good one.
It's a great comment, but I'll still say this. If it's the right guys that get banged up, we're still in trouble, if you know what I mean.
Correct. But I do think you'll have more depth. Should. What about D. Moore's question?
D. Moore, no. Not 10 to 12 sacks. That's a lot. Now,
Why?
10 to 12, Jay.
Downs had 6.5.
Let me explain it then. 8 or 9 maybe, but I think they're going to be rotating a lot of guys in.
Well,
now, if you told me PJ Adebawore is going to play 80% of the snaps, I would say yes, 10 to 12 sacks. I think with the guys they got, they're going to rotate a lot of people in that position. So I think they're going to get a lot more than they had last year, I would hope. If not, there's major issues.
I mean, you look at guys like Danny Okoye, if he plays 100 snaps, gosh, I think he's going to get some sacks. I mean,
I agree, James. James Thrice, absolutely agree with you.
And that's a good point. Yeah, that's a good point. They do rotate a lot. It is hard for guys to get that many. I mean, yeah, I see
Vaughn,
that.
you're right. Drake Stoops, if he's not on your team, you hate him. But if he's on your team, he's unbelievable. And really, I don't know how everyone in the nation can't respect the guy, what he's done.
Who isn't good? Hunter, who isn't good about? Isn't good.
Okay, Vaughn, I'm about to go off right now because, listen, Drake Stoops is better than any receiver you had on the squad at Texas. He was better than any Texas receiver. Now I'll tell you something he wasn't. Okay. He wasn't more talented than any of your receivers, but he was better. He was a better player. He made bigger plays. He had much more heart than anyone on your team. He wasn't more talented, but he was better than any of them.
Yeah, if he wants to say he's not more talented, I get it. But
he wasn't near as talented as Worthy.
Give me Drake Stoops any day of the week on football, man. That guy's a baller, period.
If you really want to get me mad, start ripping. What's crazy?
He's better than anybody on their team. You're not saying talent-wise, though.
I already explained it. He's got more yards than any of those guys. the hits that he took, plus what he does blocking and other things. Sorry.
Wait. Zayden, you think Kelce's last game? He's not retiring, is he?
Yes.
Really? You think
Yes.
so? Podcast making too much.
Hey, Hunter, drop in the chat the yardage on Stoops versus Worthy right now. And Zayden.
What about Mitchell,
I know
too?
Zayden's a Bear fan. Stinking Packers. That hurt.
Mitchell, too.
Baker is a dog. I hope they win it all.
You're not saying you're not, Jeremy. Let me just clear some up. You're not saying Drake Stoops is better than Xavier Worthy.
On the field, he is. I'm absolutely saying that.
But not athletically and talent.
Well, no, Jay. He doesn't have the size that Worthy has. He doesn't have the speed that Worthy has.
Yeah, I see what you're saying. It's a valid point. Valid point.
It's ridiculous that what the deal is, Bond, is you're so jealous of Drake Stoops. You're so unbelievable upset. Look at that. 962 to 1,014.
So Worthy had a little bit more.
Had a little more. So I still say Stoops is better.
But didn't he play an extra? No, he didn't play an extra game. Never mind.
Jay, if Drake Stoops had the speed of Worthy, like it is unbelievable.
Well, yeah, but you can't say that. I mean,
sorry, Drake Stoops was a better college football player than Xavier Worthy, and I will die on that hill.
Wait, okay, I don't even know why we're arguing it.
Well, because I'm arguing it. That's why, Jay. I can't let that. I can let a lot of things slide, but for someone to say that Drake Stoops talks crap and doesn't back it up is a ridiculous person.
The ridiculous comment is for somebody saying, like Bond, to say he talks crap and isn't good. He is good. Come on, Bond. That's ridiculous. Come on,
Bond. Bond. Drake Stoops returned punts first 2 or 3 years of his career. Hey,
You're
was
right,
Xavier
Bond.
Worthy the number 1 receiver for Texas? Let me ask you that.
What did Worthy do against OU this year? I'm having tough.
He's going back to last year. Hey, Bond, do you remember what Drake? Bond, do you remember what Drake Stoops did on the last drive against you this year, Bond? Do you remember it? Oh, you probably forgot that one, didn't you?
Hey, I want to know what Worthy did this year against OU. What did he do?
Get him off here. I don't like to remove people, and I'm not going to remove him, but I'm done talking and arguing about how Drake Stoops isn't a good football player. You don't know football. You don't know football, Bond.
Bond, I know you were talking about 22 and 21. I'm asking what Worthy did this year against Oklahoma. That's all I want to know. Drop his in the.
Now he's begging. He's begging for us to not remove him.
Hunter, drop Worthy's stats from the OU game this year in there,
and drop Drake Stoops' stats. Go ahead. And
there
I'm
it is.
shocked.
84-75. There it is.
Wow. Man, a lot of those on that last drive too.
Oh, 8 for 108. There it is. 8 for 100. So he had a better game than I thought. Worthy did. That's right. He had a better game than I thought.
And he's the number 1 receiver for Texas, Jay.
Yeah. I don't know why we're arguing this. It's ridiculous. Move on.
Yeah, I'm moving
Xavier
on.
Worthy's a good player. I'm not going to argue that.
You know my weakness, Jay.
What?
I can't let things slide.
You can't let things die,
and I promise you this. I don't think any Sooner fan in here wanted me to let that slide.
Yeah, and Chuck's right. 2 different types of receivers. Totally different.
Yeah.
And we're not talking about Hart. Hey, Worthy's going to be a great NFL talent. You got to admit that.
And I give Worthy credit. He played through injuries really good.
Now that's a good point, Derek. That play on the goal line was pretty sweet. That was a pretty sweet play. But
do we have 2,000-yard rushes? Now this one I do think can happen.
Jeremy, I don't know. Let's go a little bit longer tonight. I don't know, man. Who would be the 2?
Well, Sawchuk is 1, and I honestly think that we're going to see 2 back sets more than you think. And listen, I'm going to say this right now. I'm going to say this and probably get Rose. I can't give up on Barnes yet.
I'm not giving up on him, but do you think he's the number 2 back next year?
Until I see Caleb Hicks or Tatum take over, then I'm going to say it's Barnes.
I think this is right, Mess. I think
Sawchuk will get 1,000.
Sawchuk will get 1,000. I don't think they have another one that gets 1,000. I don't.
No.
I don't.
Dalpois isn't giving up. He's got the size. It just worries me about that injury.
Xavier Robinson, I think is what Derek's saying here.
Well, Xavier Robinson won't be a 1,000-yard guy.
Don't give up on Freeman.
I'm not giving up on Freeman, but I look. Who said that? Modern day caveman. I do not see anywhere where Freeman can get on the field very consistently.
No, I think he can get out there and play some. I don't think
he's going to play 5 plays a game is what Freeman's going to play.
He may get more than that. I don't think he's an every down thing right now. Hunter, chill, bro. Hey.
Yeah, chill out, Hunter. We agree, no politics. But
yeah,
we're not going to time out for the night. Just ignore it. We're not here to talk politics, though. That is correct.
We are not talking. I'm not talking politics.
Hey, Barnes' injury was a foot deal. Now, Jay, you heard some things on this.
What do you mean?
Didn't you talk about it? It was kind of similar to like the KD
No, I'm
injury.
just saying, like, if you remember the Kevin Durant injury, he had a tough time coming back after that foot injury, and I think Barnes is the same thing. I do. I think it's the same thing.
Okay, this is a massive point. I'm sorry, Bobby. Hey, Bobby Wiley's a Sooner Surge Unlimited member. Got to shout that out first. That's legit. Second of all, how have we not even mentioned Samuel Franklin?
Yeah, but
we didn't mention him in the portal. We didn't mention him now. The guy could be very, very beneficial.
Hey, and let's keep the politics off here. I'm not even going to touch on it, so just don't bring it up.
Yeah, it's about time to end it anyway. We're at an hour.
Owen Field, I agree. I hope he moves up the rotation big time. I did. I think Hicks is a stud. I really did.
Yeah. Here's a good comment here. Jason worked in surgery for 20 plus years, 2-foot reconstruction, takes time, lots of time,
good
then
point.
Needing confidence. So maybe Barnes can get it back.
Maybe and maybe not. Nobody knows. That's
Samuel Franklin is the guy I do have high hopes for him being a backup.
Really?
Yes. And Bradley, there it is. Yeah, Sooner Surge. Hunter just dropped in here. It's probably a good place to end it. Listen, I'm not going to apologize for anything tonight. I appreciate the chat. But
hey, here's the thing. Bond, Texas people, if you want to come on here, come on here. I don't care. I know there's probably not a lot going on in the Texas world in football, and they're not talking about it. So join up.
Yeah. Jay, let me mention this one more time because people ask. If you become a Sooner Surge Unlimited member, it's $4.99 a month. Okay. You can cancel anytime, but you would be also getting a link to the Discord. If you watch the video on our description, there's a Discord link where you can join up, chat, we get inside information, all that stuff through a Discord. If you've ever been on a Discord, you can do that there after you join as an unlimited member. Couple shout outs tonight. First, shout out to Tanya for the super. Also, shout out to Bobby Redwine for the super. Also, shout out to Dax for becoming a Sooner Surge Unlimited member and others that might be coming
up. Bomb's a member.
Bomb's a member. And the Discord, again, if you're a member, you got a video today. You watched a video, okay? I'm not shouting at you. You definitely didn't carry the show, bud. Nice try. Nice try.
Hey, we've had plenty to talk about every other for the last 6 weeks without Texas fan being on here. So
hey, Bud, we've gone an hour every night except for Thanksgiving, Bud. We don't need you and your comments about how you carry a channel. The Sooner Surge group always carry the channel, not you. Appreciate it. Till next time, Boomer.